Hi, welcome to my integrated marketing communication strategy for Nomad Design Studios. The top marketing strategies that I came across that I liked, that I wanted to apply for my company, were Twitter, conventions and expos, email blasts, newsletters, coupons, money off, free shipping, that kind of thing. For Twitter, the companies I chose were Pixar and About Face Media. About Face Media is a local production company in the Milwaukee area. I chose these because they're constantly on Twitter. They're always telling you new events and what's going on in their companies. I mean, specifically look at the Twitter for Pixar. They have advertisements for Finding Nemo 3D and when it's coming out, and it's all over the place. Like you just couldn't miss it. Like 9/14/2012, like when it's coming out, and that's great. Like I mean, that's a really great way that they've marketed themselves. For conventions and expos, I mean there are tons of them, but I mean obviously Comic-Con is huge, and I would absolutely love to go to be able to like market myself there, and to other production and design companies. I mean, being around them would be great. And What a Workshop is one of those that did that, and if you look at this picture, they knew what they were doing. I mean, there's no way you could miss that. I mean, they do everything from illustration to monster creation, and that's what they did. And obviously all these people like taking pictures and stuff like that, that they did a good job. For email blasts, I mean, pretty much everybody does it these days, and sometimes it gets a little annoying. And I myself, if I do email blasts for my company, I would like to just do it once every couple of days. Like, I don't want to do it every day kind of thing. I mean, like, this is a clip from my own email. I mean, you can see that. I mean, I get from Kohl's, from the Paps Theater, which is a local theater in Milwaukee as well, Starbucks, World Wildlife Fund, World Market, and so on. And most of those, with the exception of World Wildlife Fund, email me constantly. And there's certain stores that I get emails from, probably like 3 a day. And it's just, so frustrating when you open up your email and you're like, oh, 20 new emails, and like, all of them are just from like they're all a mix of the same companies, and it's just I don't want to do that. I'd like to do it more every once in a while. I actually prefer to do newsletters. Boswell Books is a really great one. They're also a local company in the Milwaukee area, and they do a really great job. And they personalize it. Dear Shannon, this is what's going on, and tell you about upcoming events, and they tell you about like the different books that they recommend, like the company themselves, like who in different employee recommendations and stuff. And it's really great. They do a really good job, and they do it. It's like, I want to say it's either once a week or once every other week, and I think that's perfect. I think a weekly or a bi-weekly newsletter is all you need. I don't think you need to do so many emails that people are just like, oh, how do I unsubscribe? I mean, a lot of artists do this too. Like, for instance, like Gaelic Storm and Ava Brothers, I subscribe to. They, whenever there's something worthy of telling you, it's not just an in-your-face kind of thing. And About Face Media also does that, and it's just their Twitter. Coupons, money off, the free shipping, I just kind of jumbled it all together. But I mean, Amazon does all of that, and I specifically picked up the part where like the free Super Saver shipping. That's why I took a picture of that. And I just chose like something like the Hunger Games, something that's new and current, and you can see, I mean, they give you the best price that they have available, give you that free Super Saver shipping if you buy anything over $25, and I think that's great because, I mean, some people don't necessarily want to buy online because they are like, oh, I can just go to the store and I can avoid shipping, and like they avoid that by this, because a lot of places are like, you have to spend $100 for free shipping, and they just $25, and I mean, it's pretty easy to go to Amazon and spend $25. My SMART goals, I try to do pretty attainable goals, and after beginning to gain clients, I want to establish a target market within the first 2 years. And by that, I mean, I just want to expand on it a little bit more, because I mean, right now it's just, small businesses. I mean, they're my target market, small businesses that aren't in the design field and they need help with designing. I mean, that's the main thing, but I also don't want to like limit myself. I want to be open for, if there's others who need my help, just individuals or if we want to expand into production. And I also set to obtain 2 or more new clients per month after the first year. And I think this is a pretty attainable goal, especially after the first year. But I mean, the economy is still not great, so I didn't want to go too high and assume, oh, I'm going to get all these people, because some people just aren't in that mindset to pay for design. And Develop an effective and reliable marketing strategy that can be used for an extended period of time. Well, it's a little general, I know, but I wanted to pick something. I want to eventually come up with like a really good marketing strategy that I can continuously use, not something that's going to be outdated right away. And with the expos and stuff like that, I think that's going to be a good strategy for me. But I mean, there's always room for improvement. The expand business into a larger scale production company, a 5-10 year plan. The reason it's longer is because it all depends on how well my company does. If we do really well in the first few years and then we start to really profit well, I mean, then we'll obviously have money to expand and to get more equipment and to become more of a actual full-on production company like someone like Leica or something. But if business is slower and it's not moving quite as fast as I wanted, then it's going to be a longer plan. The integrated marketing communication. So I obviously want to spread awareness through advertising, personal selling, public relations, direct marketing, sales promotion, those main categories. But I want to spread awareness by using social media and billboards and everything through advertising to get people to know us. And obviously I'd like to do once people start to get to know us, and it's going to be a while for them to really like us and prefer us, but we continue to work on these our strategy, people will eventually get to that stage, and then we can keep working on it to get to that final conviction stage where people are dedicated to us. But through advertising, I want to use Twitter and Facebook, word of mouth. And with Facebook, I'd like people like friends, like, oh hey, check out my new friend's company, Nomad Design Studios, you should check it out. Facebook and word of mouth, they can do that, and then they can go to the website, and that'll get us more known. And then booths at expos, billboards, the newsletter that I was talking about, mailings. Mailings, I prefer email, but at first you're not going to have an email base or a newsletter base, so sending out mailings would be okay at first. I just don't want to do too much because I would like to be as eco-friendly as possible. So I'd like to limit that if possible. Personal selling, that's going to be the expos and stuff. That's going to be the expos and having quote unquote salespeople available to talk via phone or email for questions and concerns. It's that chance for them to talk one-on-one with someone, whether it be me or anyone else at my company. It's just being able to ask questions about who we really are and what we plan to do for them. Public relations. This is really just, I think for me, it's just if we do great work, quality work, and they tell someone and they come to us, and that just keeps trickling down the waterfall. I think that great response is going to equal the good PR, and you've heard this. There's nothing better than that. Direct marketing. Like I was saying before, I'd like to do a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter. I think that would be the best thing. Some email blasts here and there, but who wants 10 emails a day from the same person? So I'm thinking when we have things going on, send out an email, but if it's just something, updates, this is what's going on with us, you should check us out. I'd like to do that weekly. The birthday greeting, I just mentioned that because I was thinking if, somewhere down the line, if we're doing pretty well, we can offer specials for birthdays and stuff. Sales promotion, we'd like to offer deals to the first-time customers. So people who've never worked with us, we just meet at an expo or something, offer them some kind of a deal so they want to work with us over someone else. And then, again, with the bottom one, specials and money off for returning customers and continuing clients. People who have worked with us and then continue to come back and keep coming back. Well, obviously, we'd like to show our appreciation somehow. With the grand opening, I was thinking within the first couple months while we're open, we'd also offer some sort of a special, on top of the first timer thing, just a little something. Well, we can, but obviously that we can't do it for everybody. We can't do it for all the time because we have to make a profit somewhere. But if we can offer some sort of a deal here and there, I think that would be really beneficial to the customers and to us. The marketing project plan. This is where I'd like to do the booth at. I'd like to do both at Comic-Con and at a Small Business Expo. Do both. The Small Business Expo would be something local, where the Comic-Con would be a little bit further away, and so I can reach my target market in different ways. And the reason I choose Comic-Con, I know it seems kind of weird, why do you want to go to Comic-Con? This is a bunch of something way out of, but it's not, because it's design and it's popular culture and it's a very social environment. And I think that this would be perfect for a design company, especially an emerging design company, because there's tons of designers there. I'm not saying that I would be we're going to stand out because we're a design company, but there are so many that we could interact with each other, and who knows, you could team up or something. And the partner that I chose for this, or would choose for this, is my friend Kristen. Her and I actually created this company. We actually came up with the idea for it a few years ago, and we've been developing on it ever since. But I mean, it kind of fell flat for a while, and in the last few weeks, I picked it back up, and I've been really developing ideas for it and trying to come up with marketing strategies for it. And so she would definitely be there because she is such a brilliant artist, and I have that administrative background. So together, the two of us would be like a real good team because of that connection. And then the other friends, we'd like to, once we kind of establish ourselves, we could recruit our friends and colleagues from college. And at first it might not be a whole lot of money for them, but they could really, really learn to get that exposure and really start working with clients and start building up their own client base. My budget. This is just kind of a look at the budget. I mean, it doesn't necessarily go all the way to the 10,000 mark because I didn't account for the travel expenses yet. I put that in the leftover, and this is kind of like just a layout of what it's going to cost. I mean, for the mailing and the billboards, I mean, that's going to market us, and in the theater advertising, that's going to market us in like letting people know that we're going to be at the expo so they can come. And if they can't come to the expos, then they at least still know about our company. It's still awareness. And so, I mean, that puts us at like $4,300. But then, if we need more equipment for the expos, let's say we need an extra computer, or we need some extension cords, or we need just any number of things, that's going to be able to come out of there. So we can, eventually, it'll probably come out to the 10,000, but I just didn't want to blow it all on one thing. And I selected this because I just really think it'd be a good strategy, and I think it'd be effective to be able to actually talk to people one-on-one, as opposed to just putting out a bunch of commercials and then people are like, oh, who are they? Like, what do they actually stand for? Like, I feel like because I'm a people person, I like to talk, and I like to talk about something I'm passionate about. So if people are talking to me about design or film, like, I can really get into that, so I can talk to people. And I'd consider it a success if I could even just get 10 people interested at each place, or I mean, ultimately, it'd be awesome if we could get 50 people who take our information, and even if a fraction of them called us, I'd consider it a success because I actually got to, we planted that seed, and I think that would be the success of it.